Welcome back to the stock market summary, y'all. Markets wrapped up the week on a bearish note after that PPI surprise, lit a fire under the dollar, and hammered metals back to earth. With QQQ flirting with the classic death hook setup and broader indices holding key averages by a thread, next week's action could decide if this is just a healthy pause or the start of something deeper. We're going to get into what we're seeing, but real quick, before we do, if you're new here, welcome to today's stock market summary. And please note that none of this is buying or selling advice. We're just calling what we see happening in the charts as things develop.
It definitely feels like a pivotal moment. The technicals, they're just screaming caution. And what's really fascinating here is that setup on the NASDAQ. We mentioned earlier this week that a death hook was on the table. And today, well, that risk got very real.
That term death hook, it sounds terrifying, but effectively it's just a bull trap, isn't it? We saw the price break out of that symmetrical triangle, got everyone excited to buy.
Yeah, everyone buys in.
And then it just immediately failed, fell right back inside the pattern.
That's the mechanism, exactly. It lures the bulls in. They think the breakout is the real deal. When the price dips back inside, all those new buyers are underwater. They're trapped. So if the price keeps slipping, they panic sell. And that just accelerates the whole drop. That's the hook.
So the NASDAQ and the tech sector, they're the ones dangling on that hook right now. But looking at the broader market, the S&P 500 doesn't look quite as ugly, does it?
Yeah.
It seems to be clinging to some kind of support.
The S&P, the SPY, it's holding its 20-day moving average, which is, a small victory.
A small one.
A very small one. And you can't get too comfortable. It's tracing out a rising wedge pattern.
Okay, so in plain English, what does that mean?
Usually means the buyers are just running out of steam, even while prices are inching up. It's often a precursor to a reversal. The Dow is really the only one staying quiet, just consolidating sideways.
Right. And meanwhile, some of the high flyers are just taking it on the chin. We saw Palantir, continuing that slide we spotted a few weeks back. And IONQ, the floor just dropped out from under it today. But honestly, these charts didn't just break on their own. We had a catalyst this morning.
We did. The Producer Price Index, the PPI, came in at 0.5%.
Way hotter than the 0.2% expected.
Way hotter. And that's a real wake-up call because it wasn't just goods getting expensive. It was services.
Right. The sticky stuff, like insurance and repairs that the Fed has a really hard time fixing.
Precisely. When you see margins and services jump like that, it tells the Fed inflation is getting entrenched. And that effectively just kills the hope for any near-term rate cuts.
And that realization just lit a fire under the U.S. dollar, which brings us right back to that dollar wrecking ball theory. When the dollar rips higher like that, it puts a stranglehold on equities, especially tech.
It tightens financial conditions instantly.
Yeah.
That dollar strength is the macro force that's reinforcing the bearish death hook we're seeing on the charts. It all connects.
That is a lot of moving parts for 1 week, from technical traps to macro shocks. And hey, it's time for your daily reminder that if you've got a stock you're watching or a question about the markets, drop it like it's hot in the comments. We want to know what you're tracking to make these videos more relevant if possible, and we'll do our best to talk about what we see in a future episode. And as always, drop a like if you appreciate these market summaries, and click subscribe too so you can stay updated.
Days like today are exactly why we always preach discipline. When you have inflation surprises, shaking sentiment, and patterns failing like this, the worst thing you can possibly do is trade on emotion or try to guess the bottom.
Yeah, trying to be a hero in a volatile market, that's usually how you blow up an account.
It is. You have to manage your risk first. It's actually the very first thing we tackle in the Grok Trade Mentorship program.
Yeah.
It's less about picking the magic stock and more about knowing how to survive the days when the math stops working, using proper position sizing and stops.
Speaking of survival, we have to look at the other victims of that rising dollar. If you were holding gold or silver today.
Wow. It was a liquidation event, just brutal. Gold plunged over 10% and silver lost, nearly 28%?
Incredible.
We warned about chasing that momentum earlier this week, and, this is the result. When the dollar spikes, metals get crushed.
What's surprising me, though, is Bitcoin. You'd think with that kind of risk-off sentiment, crypto would be down just as bad. But it seems to be holding?
It's relatively contained, down just 0.5% or so. But the visuals matter here. If you picture the chart, we are hovering right above a support floor, a floor that was established back in November of 2025.
Okay.
I haven't broken it yet, but we are standing right on the trapdoor. If that level gives way, we could see a very quick drop, maybe below 80K.
So looking ahead to next week, sounds like the bulls have their work cut out for them.
Absolutely. They need to defend these levels. And they need to do it immediately. If they don't, that NASDAQ death hook plays out, and we go from, a healthy pause to a much deeper correction.
Well, buckle up, everyone. We hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe out there, and tune in next week as we continue to cover the markets and the developments we've mentioned.